La 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 la. Yesterday I saw the new Marvel movie Doctor Strange, and I got inspired by a line in it for this new video. This line's also in the trailer. It really parallels what's going on in America with the election and the media coverage and all that hoopla.
Stephen Strange. Might I offer you some advice? Forget everything that you think you know.
Forget everything you think you know. In Doctor Strange, they're talking about the real world versus the magic world. Doctor Strange goes from being a very rational thinking doctor, scientific and pragmatic, to moving into a sorcerer role, learning magic, going into other dimensions, other fields, things we never ever could take seriously in our world. Well, doesn't that feel a lot like the election and stuff that's going on in America right now? Feels like we're almost in a bizarro world. Where am I? What is this? Is this really happening? Is this really a president election? All the drama, all the cheating, released emails, crimes, sex tapes, rape, Trump, Hillary. It's pretty insane for a lot of reasons. Forget everything you think you know applies so much this year that it's crazy. Everything's changing, it's unpredictable, and there's so many new, fresh things in here, I thought I'd point them all out. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty details of why this year, during this election, it's time for everyone to forget everything you think you know. Let's start with the candidates. Hillary Clinton. Now, obviously, she's the first female candidate, which is great. She's going to get a lot of vagina votes because of that. But she's also the first candidate under investigation by the government. The FBI just reopened their email investigation, so that means Clinton could be in some hot water still. And this is the first time a candidate is under investigation. That's pretty heavy, man. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's nothing. It could turn out to be nothing, though, to be fair. I thought we might have heard some news about those emails by now, you know? If there was something bad, it probably would have came sooner rather than later, but you know, who knows? Maybe the right is right. Maybe the right. Maybe the right.
Uma!
Next, we have Donald Trump, who is not a politician running for a politician's job. And that's not the first time this has happened for president, but it's been a while. Ike Eisenhower ran for president without any political experience in 1952. And I think he did a pretty good job leading us through the war and stuff after he won. So this isn't the first time, but it is rare. This is a new kind of thing. This is fresh. He's not a politician. This doesn't feel like the last election at all. I remember the last two elections pretty strongly. Those are pretty much my first two, and it always felt like politicians versus politicians, Republicans versus Democrats. And that brings us to our next point about the candidates, about both candidates. It seems like the party politics is starting to kind of fall apart, right? I mean, Trump is in the Republican Party now. He's a Republican candidate, but he never really felt like a true conservative, old school Republican politician. Not just because he's not a politician, but it seems he may have picked the Republicans just by default. You know, he identifies with a lot of their conservative values, but he never really felt like one of them. And then Hillary kind of has a feel for that too. I mean, she's a hardcore Democrat for sure, 100%, but at the same time, knowing that she's more of a puppet, people are pulling her strings, it doesn't really seem like she's like about the Democratic value. She just is a Democrat in the party and a party politician. So I would say at the least the parties have kind of started to crumble a little bit, and I think that could be good. We could kind of finally get away from this if people get sick enough of it. Next, let's go to the media and why the media has changed so much this year. First of all, the biggest thing is that traditional news, the mainstream media, has pretty much been slammed and destroyed for being biased. You've got the Clinton News Network, MSNBC kind of swinging to the left real hard, losing their ratings because of it probably. Traditional news has been exposed as bias. No one listens to TV news anymore. No one trusts it. Old people do. I know people still watch it, and some people still think of it as Bible, but it's really starting to fall apart this year and getting turned upside down. The funniest thing is the reporters have been revealed to be hacks, and the hackers have been revealed to be reporters. Nowadays, the best place and the only place I get news from is places on the internet. You've got to find your alternative news source and kind of weed out the bullshit on your own, instead of having a trusted news anchor break it down for you. No one trusts CNN, no one trusts Fox, no one really trusts anyone 100% anymore. You gotta be your own own investigator almost. And while the TV stations try to hide leaks and cover for the candidates, hackers are forcing their hand and sending out emails they've discovered. WikiLeaks is releasing all the Podesta emails. The hackers have really become the new, more trusted media source because they're not spinning it. They're just revealing what the people have already sent in their emails. They're exposing the truth. They're exposing the truth and helping fight corruption. Next, let's go to the polls. Polls were once a very trusted election predictor, and many people had a lot of faith of them in years past. This year, not so much. Again, with the power of the internet and the scope of information out there, people can see the polls are starting to look rigged, and they've even been caught rigging polls. Democrats have been busing their supporters to different polling stations. You see, nowadays, the polls can't be trusted, and I know I said this before, people have learned there's currently no good way to predict these elections. You just don't know. You can try to read between the lines and make a guess, and what I've been doing is going around on the internet, checking out the videos, seeing who's garnering more support. And I think it's pretty undeniable that the Donald has a lot of internet support, and maybe Clinton does too, but if you look at Reddit, YouTube, other places where people post on social networks, Donald and conservatives have been dominating. And then you look at their rallies and the supporters that follow them, you just kind of start to see between the lines. One more thing about polls. We know we couldn't trust them before, and then the Democrats have been caught rigging them. But now that they're starting to swing to Donald Trump, people on the right want to trust them and say, oh, look at the polls now. And I know how that looks hypocritical, but let me explain. You see, the polls are finally starting to swing to the true beliefs of the people. Before they were rigged, and the Democrats had swung them to their side to make Hillary look more popular, but now it's slowly starting to creep back because they're losing control. And I think at the same time, more and more people are swinging to the right. So that's why the polls can start to show the influence and the change and the sway that the news cycle and events and people's public opinion has been moving towards. In conclusion, just imagine we're in the middle of a movie where the United States is destroying some of the worst parts of our country. First of all, the establishment. Establishment could be going down after this. If someone like Trump wins and decides to fight against them, we could be breaking down the whole system. And then the media. The media has been exposed and their bias is not being tolerated anymore. No one fucking watches CNN because it's boring and we know they're lying. That could be destroyed this year. And the last and most important part of America that needs to be destroyed, and that's going to be the conclusion of this Bizarro World Doctor Strange movie USA, is public indifference. We can't rest on our laurels anymore, guys. America is a great empire, and it'll fall if we start to get lazy and just don't care about shit anymore. People have finally realized they can't be indifferent. They can't be indifferent about politics, social issues, and especially this election. Regardless of what side you're on, people know that you have to vote now. Things getting real, people. Forget everything you think you know. It's time to rise. The people shall prevail. Thanks for watching our new episode, guys. Hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed it. We got to 11,000 subscribers today. Very happy. Thanks so much for likes and comments and everything. You guys are amazing. More videos to come soon. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Hey guys, my name is Juliana, and today we're going to be doing the ab challenge. We're going to do leg raises, see how many you can do as many as you can, and let's get started. Alright, so you're going to start off laying down, raise your legs.
I'll make love to you like you want me to, and I'll hold you tight.
One more announcement before we go. Check out the link in the description to our new No Bullshit t-shirts. Help support the show by wearing a cool, trendy, nice logo tee. It looks cool, it feels cool, and who doesn't want to have an animal pooping on their shirt? Alright guys, have a great day. Talk to y'all soon. Peace. I'm out of here.